how do you guys help navigate organizations that think AI is a threat? I'm a sales rep. I don't think this is gonna work. I mean, I've worked with a lot of sales reps before, and usually they hate CRM. They just want to sell and manage relationships. And now I have to deal with an AI agent.
Totally.
Right? How do you remove that barrier that this will just be a blocker for me to reach my quota, and actually I can delegate work, and this will actually help me expedite my deals?
There's like 8 things that immediately came to mind. I'm going to try to pick like 2 of them, but that's such a good question. The first is, let's just talk about the painful history of sales tech in general. The sales team is kind of like the military. You've got the general at the top that looks down to the troops and says, this is what you're doing, these are the tools you have, this is how we're going to attack, don't ask any questions, and if you're like the top 10% performer, I'm not really going to pay attention to you, you can do what you want, and everybody else is going to fall in line. And if you don't make quota, as long as you fall in line, you're not fired. But if you're not doing what I told you and you don't make quota, right, what happens, right, then you're gone. That's all like sales tech. And I think the first difference is, like a teammate is the first thing that actually works for the rep, that directly impacts their wallet, which is what they care about. How do I win more faster and put more dollars in my pocket against my quota? And that's just a different dynamic. The first thing is like this type of technology approaches those sentiments differently, because it's like, oh great, it's not another inspection tool where my boss is going to look at my gong calls and then call me up on a Saturday and start yelling at me for things that he doesn't know about. That's the normal notion of sales tech. Now here's the second part is, it's all around, I think, for the vendor side, the positioning of the tool too. And let me give you 2 examples here. One is Salesforce just acquired Qualified, Craig Swearend over there, great company, Piper, the AI SDR. That was clearly positioned as a human replacement. But like that was the intent, Angela, right? You're like, well, a human isn't here these hours of the day, so this thing, we're just going to plug it in. And then if you're an SDR on the team, you're like, what the heck? I'm on my leaderboard competing with this robot over here. Now that's very, very different than the approach that we take, where it's a teammate that's pairing up with you in your flow of work. That's like the diff of how you get these sales teams on board in a really positive way is, one, it actually impacts the thing that the rep cares about, which is closing deals, not just having my manager inspect me. And the second thing is how it's built, the positioning, and how it actually functions, slipstreams into my flow of work, isn't there to take away my cycles.
And I think you did a beautiful job of explaining how AI is being just a pivotal part of your sales flow of the future. Are there any misconceptions that you were surprised hearing about?
The thing that immediately came to mind for me, especially in the sales context, is how quickly their customers and buyers are craving something different too. I think that's a good point for reflection for any sales org, that again, the unfortunate low bar of teams out there is the data filler outer, the email writer better, right? The lead scrubber dubber, right? But that doesn't like actually change what the customer wants, is just a much more streamlined experience. Just kind of unpack this analogy in a little bit, because it has to go to the buyer's patience level too. If you look in life, if it's not immediately available or valuable, like people don't like it anymore. The last thing that they want to do with a vendor is deal with, I don't know, I'll get back to you maybe next time. That's the thing that kills the future of every sales organization.